how to get over yourself as an entrepreneur. Now, I know that we can all blame the economy, we can blame our opportunities, we could blame another company, we could blame some competitor, but the reality is that there's really only one thing you're fighting when it comes to how to build this business. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I have mostly gotten over myself as an entrepreneur during our journey to build an 8-figure business. Let's dive in. Hey guys, first off, you have to know, especially looking back on like $10 million in 3 years, like it's exciting, it's very exciting, but looking backwards, this is all a journey of self-discovery. It's all a journey of self-discovery. So what I'm saying here, please know I'm saying in self-love. I'm not here to slam or bash or say like you're doing it wrong or you're egotistical. That's not the point. That's not what I'm saying here at all. But you have to know that entrepreneurship is the greatest self-development thing that you didn't know you were signing up for when you became an entrepreneur. And usually it starts like this. Robert Kiyosaki actually said, anytime you begin an entrepreneurial endeavor, character flaws just explode in your face. You're like, oh, I suck at that. I suck at this. And until you do something to either get past them or get around them or somehow address them, they're going to hinder the rest of your business. And so what I'm going to talk about in this video is some very subtle ways that I, with my mentality, had to kind of spot check myself and some of the things that really upgraded how I think so that I wasn't the hindrance in my business. All right, and with that, let's dive in. All right, so I want to go through 3 traps of the mind, 3 traps of the brain, and things that really do trip up a lot of entrepreneurs. It certainly did for me. When I first started working at ClickFunnels, Russell saw me seeing another person and I started judging myself. What basically happened was I interviewed this guy who had made a couple $100,000 and he was just kind of just starting out, and I interviewed him on my own podcast. And I remember riding my bike into work that day to go sit at ClickFunnels and build funnels and all that stuff. And he could, we sat in the same room, so like we could read each other, right? And he was like, "What's up?" And he saw me seeing the other guy and comparing myself. And I remember, I think it was either that night or shortly thereafter, he reached out to me and he goes, "Hey, I know that you're looking at that guy and you know you can go do that. First of all, thanks for spending some time here with me at ClickFunnels. Second of all, you should really go through this little course. It's a small little course. It's a little tiny ebook, booklets, audiobook thing. Go through it real fast. I think it'll really help you for maybe some stuff you're going through." And that's all he said. I was like, okay, anytime Russell's going to say something to me like that, I'm going to go through it. So I started listening to it. And it was a course called The Gap by Dan Sullivan. And just a quick nutshell of it, he basically says that comparison is the death of all entrepreneurs, right? You're trying to figure out how to get over yourself as an entrepreneur. Stop comparing yourself. And I came up with this little tiny quip that says, it's me against me and it's me against yesterday. That's it. Don't look at anyone else's clock. Don't look at their success streak. Understand that everyone's on their own timeline and their own journey. And especially entrepreneurs, because we're all really competitive. Man, we compare ourselves to other people. And there's a virtue to that, and that it can inspire us. For sure, do that. It can inspire us. Look what's possible, look what's available. However, the moment we start judging our self-worth based on our speed towards an outcome or how fast we got that trophy or that thing, it will destroy you as an entrepreneur, because you're going to lose your anchor. And you'll start saying, I'm going to go after that. I'm going to go after this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. And you actually kill your company. Okay? Because you start, it's basically like shiny object syndrome for your ego. And so you're like, we got to start doing that because that guy is. And look how fast they did over there. Okay? So just repeat after me, write down somewhere, staple it on your face. Right? It is me against me, and it is me against yesterday. That is it. And what you'll find is that when you have that kind of heads down, just grind it out mentality, after a while you kind of like raise your head up and you're like, look at the clock. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize 3 months has gone by. Look how much we got done. And it's because I wasn't busy comparing myself to other people. That honestly saved my life as an entrepreneur. Let's go to step number 2. The second way to destroy your mentality and destroy yourself as an entrepreneur. These are mental cankers, right? That will stop you as an entrepreneur. That's how I'm taking the title of this video in a way. And one time I remember I was walking into work, and Russell looked at me and he goes, "You want to learn how to lose your following?" I was like, "Sure." He goes, "Drink your own Kool-Aid." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Drink your own Kool-Aid. Read your own press. Think that you are the man. You are, oh my gosh, right? I'm elevated. I'm elevated." What happens is if you go out to your audience, and you see this, right? You see this. There's some influencers out there. Maybe I won't name them. Maybe I will. Right? But you can see out there when they're like, "Kiss the ring," right? And they try to basically say, "Remind me I'm awesome." And Nothing wrong with knowing you're good. Nothing wrong with owning your outcomes and knowing that you are good at what you do. But the moment it becomes an ego thing and a self-worth thing, what it does is there's a concept that we use called the guru on the mountain. And you are the guru on the mountain. And the following is coming up to the mountain, think like Moses, right? And the tablets, right? They're coming, say, what should we do? And you're like, this is what you should do, right? That's kind of like, it's a weird way to say it, but you won't forget it though. The guru on the mountain is when you go to them and they're coming to you and trying to say, we want to be like you. And you're like, yeah, come here, right? Here's my product. Here's my service. Here's the thing that I do. You can do what I'm doing. You can be like me, right? I'm the attractive character. But the moment you start saying like, hey, I'm awesome, and keep reminding me how awesome I am, feed my ego. You remember how good I am? What happens is you start telling the audience that they're never good enough, and they start leaving you. Right? You actually distance yourself from the audience itself. There was a mastermind I was in, and this dude stood up every single time and just talked about himself for a solid 10, 15 minutes. And the rest of the room was just like, dude, it was a really, really egotistical way. And it was a huge turnoff. And every person I talked to in the mastermind after that, they were like, I don't know that I want to come back to this because literally the guy just wants us all to validate him 24/7. Don't seek validation. Don't seek your self-worth from your following. And I love that advice. I think it's fantastic advice. And so I call it the drink your own Kool-Aid or read your own press rule, where totally celebrate your successes. I'm not saying that you got to downplay what you've achieved and what you've achieved as an entrepreneur. However, beware of the trap, the mental trap that is the moment you start saying, I am better than you, or I look how much I've done in an egotistical self-validation way, and you need others to validate you for that, you got to change your validation source, okay? Your validation should come from within. Only you know your true story, all right? Only I know my true story and everything that I had to do to earn where I am. Now, I know I'm really good. I'm world class at it, okay? But I'm not coming around back to my following and saying, can you please help me with my self-worth and tell me how cool I am because I'm in a low point today. Everyone has low points. Everyone does. But don't go to the audience and ask them to be the fuel source for your self-validation. You're going to die, right? You will literally lose your following. Before we go into the third trap of the mind, guys, I'd like to know, I have actually on my actual wall, not a Facebook wall, those legal pad pieces of paper, all these quotes, tons of quotes that are inspirational to me, and I covered my office wall with it. It's just awesome. It looks so cool. Hey guys, before we move forward, please subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know on your wall or one of the quotes that you keep reading, what's one of the most inspirational quotes or comments that you have ever been told or have read? What's the thing you keep going back to that reminds you, hey, look, I got to keep pushing as an entrepreneur when times get hard. I'd love to know what that is. Put them down below. It'd be cool to see what everyone's answers are. Number 3, the third trap of the mind, and these are all things that I learned from Russell, so I'm going to tell one more Russell story. I remember one of the most frequent conversations that he and I would have, because I loved his mentality about this. Think about how rich he is, but I mean, we wore shorts and t-shirts, and he's like just the most down-to-earth real dude ever. I totally respect that about him, which is where a lot of these mentalities came from. And I remember, right, I was building funnels, and I was sitting right there next to him, and we were putting stuff out there, and it was fast, really, really fast-paced. And I remember realizing that there was a piece of JavaScript, a piece of code that we needed to write in one of the funnels. Now, I don't know JavaScript. I don't know CSS. I know a little bit of those things, but I don't know it very well. And I can read it, and I really write it. You know what I mean? And so I said to him, dude, I wonder if there's like a JavaScript or CSS course I can go take to learn a little bit more code so I can be a better funnel builder and faster funnel builder for you. And he looked right at me. I remember this. He was like, why would you do that? And I was like, what do you mean? I just told you. It's so I can be a faster, better funnel builder for you. And he's like, dude, we have a JavaScript guy. And I was like, yeah, but like I could do it. He's like, no, stop. Don't learn CSS. Don't learn JavaScript. We got that guy. And I remember that was like it. I was like, okay. And we kept going along. A few months later, I was like, you know what? I want to go learn some design. I'm going to go learn design. I learned a ton of design in college and earlier than that. I did a lot of design in high school, actually. I was like, I want to go deeper into design. And same thing. He's like, why? Why would you do that? And I was like, well, what do you mean? It's a cool skill set, and I can pick up a skill set and be more valuable for you. The same thing. And he goes, dude, we got a designer. We got a design. He's right there. Why would you do that? I'm like, oh, okay. Third time. Right? So I was like, dude, I'm going to go deeper copywriting or whatever the next thing was. And he actually called me out on it. And he goes, Steven, you keep doing this. Stop. He's like, I don't need to go learn JavaScript because I got a JavaScript guy. That's faster than me learning JavaScript. We don't need to go learn CSS. We got a CSS guy. That's faster than you going and learning it. We don't need a designer. We don't need blah, 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 blah. This was a consistent thing that he actually spot checked me on. This happened, I would say, at least every quarter. At least, if not more frequent. And he actually got fed up with it after a while. And he's like, dude, stop. He's like, this whole game depends on you understanding that you are world class. Now put you in these shoes, okay? Okay, you're listening now. You are world class and have time to be world class in like 2 things. That's it. Stop trying to learn everything else. Be good at your lane, hire out the rest. Now I'm telling you this because one of the traps of the mind, how do you get over yourself as an entrepreneur? Stop thinking you know everything and stop thinking that you are the best. The point of this game is to be the orchestrator, not know every instrument in the orchestra, right? The big key piece here, I'm going to tell you right now, my company does more than I know how to do now. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't know how to do most of the things my company does now. And that's how it happens. That's how it grows, right? And so when you're starting out, like, how do I get over myself as an entrepreneur? You are not God's gift to the earth. And you are not there to like have all the answers and I need to learn everything and I got to pick up these skill sets and that and that and that. And I'm sure like me, you got a lot of skill sets. I do too. There's a lot that I can do. There's a lot I could create products around, but that's not how the market pays you. The market pays you for your strengths, not for you to learn weaknesses into strengths. So ask yourself right now and start thinking about it. What is like the 1, maybe 2 things that I am world class at or could be world class at, and stick to that. And anything else that pops up that you could maybe need, challenge it. First of all, do you need it? Second of all, go to the person who has that skill set as their one amazing world-class thing. And this whole game is that way. That's the reason why I start reaching out to different people for different skill sets, because man, I should not be the one doing it. I shouldn't, just because I could do it doesn't mean I should do it. And that will kill a lot. That kills so many entrepreneurs. Oh man, I gotta go do this. I have a business consultant who comes in every quarter and fills in the gap. Instead of me going and learning it, he just comes in and does the thing. And he says to me a lot, the whole point is to delegate and elevate. Delegate and elevate, right? And that's what you're doing. So every quarter I go back and I'm like, look at all these skill sets that I would love to. I have such curiosity. You're probably like me and you suffer from insatiable curiosity. I want to know how everything works. I want to know how to do everything just because I'm curious by nature. But the best thing you could ever do is learn to say no. And that's where you start training teams and people to start replacing that or pull other expertise in. Okay, so that's the whole piece. Don't learn it all. You're the orchestrator, not the orchestra. Okay, and that's why a lot of people get paid so much money to just create the system around those who have the talents. And that's really what you're doing as an entrepreneur. Only be good at 1 or 2 things. I got a free gift here for you. I know you're gonna love it. I spent a lot of time making it, actually over my Christmas break. Hey guys, go to ofasignup.com. You're gonna see that, hey, I'm talking about entrepreneurship and you gotta have the product, but there's a lot of small, tiny little skills that are good for you just to understand. Not necessarily know how to do them, but you should just know what's happening. And if you go to ofasignup.com, what you'll see there is it's a 5-day little mini course. It's all free. Just put your email in and it'll drip out to you over 5 days. Hey, you want some more just stuff about design that does matter? Not that you're going to do it. You just got to know just a little bit. Here's a little bit about that, a little bit about they're all the small little tiny complementary skill sets to learning this game so you don't go down a rabbit hole. Go to ofasignup.com. The link is in the description.